Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well. What did I tell you for so long? There's gonna be one day, with no particular, event. Nothing. When the Europeans will wake up and say, hey, why don't we talk to Putin? Huh? Come on, man. Why haven't you been talking to Putin for 3 years and a half? Almost. Exactly that is what Macron, the president of France, says. The European Union must prepare to talk to Putin. Why now and not in a month? Why now and not a month ago? We're going to discuss this one. The second one, we're going to discuss two statements coming from two third-tier politicians. And this is Kaja Kallas, as I call her, Maria Kallas, if you can believe, the so-called top diplomat of the European Union, who's an imbecile. And then the other one, wanting to go and prosecute the Russians, Putin and everybody else. She wants to prosecute them. All right, and the third one is that I think is an MI6 asset, Mr. Sikorski, Radisław Sikorski. He's the Polish foreign minister, and Mr. Polish foreign minister has something smart to say, he thinks, and that is, let's do it as Reagan did it. He outspent the Soviet Union, we bring it down. Hoorah! Now, Mr. Sikorski is either an imbecile or he plays dumb, because this is not what brought down the Soviet Union. They say it here to have these guys feel important, but the Soviet Union was not brought down by the military spending. Get that out of your system. Out. Maybe that played a role, maybe 2, 3, 4, 4.25%. That's it. There were other, more important forces at play than we outspend you. It was an understanding between certain people and other people. But hey, it's too deep and too hard to digest, because you want to win. We all want to win. So when you have a politician who says, you won, we outspend them, man. Oh yeah, man, we won. Yeah, you won. And who exactly won? Did you win? What did you win exactly? You eliminated a threat? Is that what you say? All right, sometimes, remember, it's better to have a threat over there and not have a threat, because a threat is a competition. And when you have a competition, the guys in charge of you could do some good things and some bad things. Now, if they have no competition, the guys in charge of you most likely will do only bad things. Why? Who's going to check me? You? All right. So let's start with the first article. And that comes from Russia Today. And we have Mr. Macron here. This is from today, the 26th of June, 2025. European Union must prepare to talk to Russia. He woke up with a hard on. The bloc has no wish to arm itself endlessly and should negotiate a new security framework with Moscow, the French president has said. So did he just wake up yesterday with this thing? I mean, this was obvious. The Russians said it. You can't have a secure Europe without us in the framework. You can't consider us as an enemy and then you secure yourself over there on a little west side of the continent. You can't do this. I mean, you can try. All right, so that's the first one right here. So before I go any further with the second tier politicians, which is Radisław Sikorski and Mr. Kaja Kallas, I would like to set the premises very quickly. The world is ruled by brute force. That's what it is. That's the bottom line. If you think that's not true, wait. And you're going to realize that. Why? Because you're here with me. And if you're here with me now, that means you're already there. You're going to find out. We just let time pass. You're going to find out. If you found out, congratulations. We together just, graduate the second grade. I mean, that's the knowledge I give you to this. So it's brute force. That's a veneer of politicians, of organizations, of institutions, of United Nations and others, where they pretend is the organization where we all equal, have a voice and all that. No. Even in the European Union, you know who makes the rules over there. People with more weapons. And then people with money. Remember, brute force beats money. If you have the money and I have a gun and you don't have a gun, I take your money. Okay, you can try to pay someone else with money, with guns to take me away, but I definitely come and take your money. Why? This is the brute force. In NATO, this is Americans' organization. When America says something, everybody does it. It's not going to be Latvia saying no. I'm going to go the other way around. I'm going to be smacked. Not even smacked. It's going to be like a poo, and Latvia disappears. All right, or just a look. Boom, is gone. So that's the one. Look at United Nations. You have the Security Council that dictates what's going on. The rest, and you have veto powers. By whom? Does how do you call it? Albania have a veto power, or Romania? I wonder why. All those guys with veto powers over there, they have nuclear weapons and they're ready to use them. So with this one, you know who's making the policies, and you have the little dogs. Second tier, third tier, and so on, and no tier. Okay, the one that gets by everybody else. So in this case, Macron represents France, and France is still part of the first tier. You have Sikorski, second or third tier, and you have Kaja Kallas, no tier. Why no tier? She comes from Estonia. I will explain. So when Estonia, she represents Estonia, she is the top diplomat, oh my God, of the European Union. When Kaja Kallas says something, she thinks she represents the European Union might. No, she represents what she's told to say. It's not, she's just a microphone. She's not a diplomat. She doesn't know what the fuck the Second World War ended or started. Go and ask her. Please do that. Ask her for the specific, not was it in the 21st century or 25th century. Give her like that kind of questions. No, tell me the exact date. I guarantee you she will not know. Ask her. Ask her when it started. Ask her about the, let's say, the Gdansk corridor. See if she knows. As a diplomat, you should know that as your name right there. So nevertheless, Macron wants to talk. Of course you have to talk. I said it. One day this guy's going to just wake up and going to say, why haven't we talked? Because some interests told you not to talk. That's exactly what it is. Let's go and see what Mr. Kaja Kallas thinks that she should do in the name of the European Union. Here it is. Ukrinform, this baboon. No one in Russia's leadership untouchable. Says who? Okay, Kaja Kallas. Kaja Kallas comes from one of the three Baltic states. Total population of the Baltic states is what? 6.1 million people, like a village. Estonia, on the other hand, part of the three, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, is population 1.3 million. So she comes from a economically zero country. I mean, please, come on. Second, militarily zero, land zero. What is she bringing? How was she taken as the prime minister of Estonia? Taken from there and brought at 450 million people, I think it is, the European Union, something like this, 400 million people. From 1.3, she was promoted to 400 million. She must be a genius. Well, she's not. That tells you she's just a figurehead over there that has to say stupid shit. It's exactly what she said. She said that no one in Russia will go unpunished. And how are you going to enforce that, baby dowel? I tell you, someone else. Why don't you go with Estonia and arrest Putin for a change? She's not gonna. So, it's always what you can do and what you would like to do. EU High Representative Foreign Affairs right there. When they put these things in front of the Kaja Kallas or anybody else, their title, they are trying to create the mirage that these people are really equaling the level. On the contrary, the status of the job was brought down to the level of Kaja Kallas. I tell you, when you go, all right, I am a foreign minister, like Lavrov. Foreign minister Lavrov equals. Or let's say I am Dr. Jaishankar of India. Foreign minister Jaishankar, definitely match. Or Peter Szijjártó of Hungary. Foreign minister Szijjártó, they match. Okay, when you say Kaja Kallas, foreign minister, you have to drop it down to her level. She can't go there. Blinken, the same. You can't bring him as a Secretary of State. Remember Liz Truss. of Great Britain. You can't bring, or Mr. Lemy nowadays. You can't bring them over there. They're way below the title. So this is Kaja Kallas. She says, let's go. You see the title? Like, oh, the Zulu Empire. I give you this example all the time. The Zulu Empire. What the fuck, Zulu Empire? How many temples did they build? I want to know. How many roads? Concrete? Anything? Written language? How in the fuck? You're not an empire. You're something. They brought it as the level of an empire. Why? When people talk about Zulu Empire, I'm not picking on Zulu. It's the clearest example. It happened to me in college in USSR of America. Zulu Empire. I said, what the fuck, Zulu is there? What the hell is that, miss? It was a German, whatever, anthropology class professor. And she had a PhD. I said, what are you talking about? Because these baboons right here in the classroom, the baboons that I was with, they don't know anything about Zulu. They might have heard about Roman Empire, and they say, oh, Zulu Empire and Roman Empire, they meet the definition. Really? Really? That's how you do it. Kaja Kallas is the EU, let me show you, EU High Representative Foreign Affairs and Security Policy. She makes policy, believes there is no room for Russia impunity as all Russian war criminals are being documented. And I'm quoting this baboon. Every inch of dick of Russia's war has been documented. There is no room for doubt and no room for impunity, she wrote. Excellent, excellent. I like that. I want to hear you talk about the Middle East. Bring it on back. Oh, no? Crickets. Why crickets, Miss Kaja? Because you're owned. You're just a person, a figurehead who has to say certain things, dumb as they are, in the name of interest. All right, let's go with the other paid guy, which is the foreign minister of Poland, Mr. Radislav Sikorski. He's an MI6. Look at his bio and you're gonna connect the dots. Polish foreign minister, again, he's the foreign minister, man. He represents that. Says arms race could bring down Putin's regime like it did with USSR. This guy is like, Sikorski is a baboon. Polish foreign minister Radislav Sikorski. Go and check who he's married with. Miss Applebaum. You can make shit up. Has suggested that the Kremlin leader Vladimir Putin's regime, he was elected. Cunt, you were not. You were appointed. So, and besides, is your friend Zelensky Stein with Applebaum elected in any way? If a new Cold War style arms race unfolds. So you know Mr. Radislav whose puppet he is. He wants military industrial complex. So this is what he says. Sikorski believes Putin has to realize he is following in Brezhnev's footsteps, referring to Soviet leader associated with the stagnation era. He himself once said the Soviet Union collapsed because it spent too much on arms, and now he's doing the same. Poland's top diplomat pointed out. Sikorski added that Russia is currently waging a very expensive war and that its aggression has pushed the entire West to increase defense. So Putin pushed it. It was not NATO coming close to Russia that pushed Russia to arms. No. It was just the Russians. Putin will be forced to squeeze out every more money for defense. Hey, Radoslav, you're a diplomat supposedly. Do you know Russia has nuclear weapons? We hope the result for his regime will be the same, only faster, concluded Sikorski. Okay, all right. Good luck with that. So, these people parachuted. Mr. Sikorski, he defected Poland in 1980s, just so you know. He went to Great Britain. Over there, he sucked some, okay? And then he married Applebaum. He worked for, he went over there to study. He should be very informed, okay? Educated person, supposedly. I mean, remember, not whomever goes to university necessarily is educated. It's how they think and what they know. As a clear example, George W. Bush. He went to both Yale and Harvard. Those are Ivy League schools, the top of the top. Did you hear him talk? How he processes information? So he's a baboon. So Sikorski, I'm not saying he's an idiot. I think he's a piece of, you know what I mean. He's not working for the Polish people, I think, but whatever. That's their boy. Like in Romania, you have the other guy owned by the French. What do you want? And by everybody else. mollusks. That's how I call them. They have no backbone. They're always like, okay, you want my mom? Right here. You want my kids? Right here. You want my wife? I'm not married. Nobody would want me. Anyway, so here is my friend Sikorski went over there, worked for some media in Great Britain, and then he was catapulted back into the position of foreign minister in Poland, back home, like Mr. Saakashvili of Georgia. Look at his bio, how he was catapulted. Look at the guy in Romania, the president, from France, catapulted. These guys think that the population is dumb, which is true. That's why they can do this kind of things. Who said that? Many people. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.